Alright, so welcome back to another video from Your Culture. Today we're gonna be doing something a little different. Someone that I got to know, and I know for sure is from the car community. See you before, but never had no sayings, nothing. I think it's 47 Trips that made us actually talk.
Yes, correct.
So 47 Trips brought another member to our channel here, and today we're gonna be learning more about Mr. Phillip. Jonel, sorry. So Mr. Jonel Phillip and his Subaru Legacy STI. Now, from my opinion, I've seen this car. I've seen it before I think he bought it. And to know, knowing he's the owner and actually seeing the difference, you know, sometimes people buy a car and you could still see the previous owner on the vehicle. Now, I could safely say that I've seen Jonel on this car now. You could see this car and you know, okay, that Jonel machine there now. And today we're going to be getting a nice breakdown of that machine, as you can see behind us there. So without saying too much, let's go ahead, straight ahead to Mr. Jonel Phillip. So welcome, Mr. Jonel Phillip.
Yeah, man, thanks, man. So as known, I'm Jonel Phillip. This year is my 2008 Subaru Legacy. Just a little correction, is a GT Limited spec. This year is my third Subaru, so I'm no stranger to the whole Subaru vibes.
Okay.
My first Subaru actually was the same year as this one. It was a 2008 Subaru Legacy 2.5i, so it was a naturally aspirated version. To me, this is the best model of the Legacy. I think in terms of the body lines, the style, the size, the height, the width of it, it isn't too round, but at the same time it have a nice kind of boxy vibe state. So you get that kind of retro boxiness state still, but still you have the kind of roundness of the newer model vehicles. So you get a nice in and between of the two, you know, body styles of vehicles. So the black one, like I said, was a 2.5 naturally aspirated. It was basic. I brought in a GT front clip from Canada.
Okay.
Right, so it pretty much ended up looking very similar to this, with the hood scoop, the headlights with the washers on it, the chrome washers, the grille, the front bumper, etc. And with that, I had the car resprayed in black. So it was a pretty clean example of a Subaru Legacy here, and it was a, what do you say, a riser, because it's not turbocharged, but it had the whole front of a turbocharged vehicle.
Okay.
It was an automatic. And coming from my first car, which would have been a Legacy, a Toyota 11 with the manual configuration. kinda, I was in the back of my mind, I need to get some money. So I got rid of the first one and I went to the wagon, the twin turbo manual legacy wagon. It was 2 generations earlier, but the manual configuration with the turbo, that is what I was after. I hung on to that car for a while. It was an excellent car. A lot of modifications were done to it, to the point where it looked and sounded different compared to all others here.
And that's true, I could attest to that.
Yeah. I love that car, and eventually I decided, you know what, I would always want to get back one of this, you know. When I saw this one up for sale, I'm like, I can't let it pass, man. So there's already a super keen example, and I'm like, why not? So I sold out the previous one, and here am I today.
Hearing you say this thing does bring back so much things to memory, like especially when I used to see the previous generations before. The black one, I'm not so familiar with the black one, but the one after that, that wagon, I know that wagon. What's the number?
Ja, can't tell you, I remember.
You remember your number?
It is PG.
Is that the car that went on to Bill Bros?
Yes.
That's
No way.
Yeah.
So that's the one.
Right. So I had sent the car down to Bill Bros. I have the engine redone. I must say that guys, Bill Bros, they are well put together group of guys. Well,
video
two guys. Yeah. They in terms of breaking down everything to you and letting you know what is what and how they're going about doing everything. Thumbs up. And the documentation that they put together to give you before they do anything on the vehicles.
Wow.
Second to none.
And the thing is, these are young boys, though.
Very young guys.
That's very commendable.
Young guys, yeah, man.
Say, video comments.
Yeah, man. So, sorry if I don't remember the number plate numbers. So much of them has run through on a daily basis, and then we have a club. I have so much time to remember, so just keep in mind of us so often. But
that's okay, man.
Here's some pictures and videos that them I can always send for you.
Yeah, that's the problem. Back to your pride and joy now. So tell us about well, we got a little history about this car, so tell us about it now. What did you do to it?
Groundwork, the vision for the car, the design as to where it almost is right now. I have to give the credit to the previous owner, would have been Lincoln, or people know him as Lynx. He had a vision for the car, and he, did all you have to do to make it look pretty much almost what it is right now. So I must give a shout out to him and tell him he did a really good job.
Okay.
The maintenance of keeping up the car was a really, really clean example. As with every other vehicle I would purchase, I have to make it look like a difference from when I purchase it. So as it stands right now, not much things I already did to it. I just changed the wheels. Originally the car had some 18 by 7.5 inch wide wheels, similar style. I have here now some 18 by 9.5 inch wide, same 5-spoke concave wheels.
Yeah, I realize you like them wheels.
Of course, that is. If any other wheels I have to have, it must be a 5-spoke deep concave wheel. It's black with a white spoke, and that's another signature of myself. Once I have a wheel on the car, one spoke have to be a different color. We did the grille, and a few other spots on the car just as an accent, because the car was just white, just straight white. Everything was white. And I mean, the car looked decent. It was like I say, simple and clean. But for me, I just saw that the car needed some accents in it to bring out some of the lines, and the whole car, you could see everything a little bit better with a few more accents on it. Pretty much the car is stock as it stands in terms of engine wise, etc., etc. There's just a few stuff we did to the intake system, and so just to allow for better let's say induction. You hear the turbo a little bit louder, you hear the spool a little bit better. So that is it for now in terms of modifications on the engine side. I mean, that's the only way you could kind of have a sort of reliable Subaru
Yeah.
when it's bone stock. Um, so that's the suspension, which is on lowering springs at the moment.
Okay.
So it's static, as we will say. No adjustability on that, but it rides pretty good, and surprisingly, it doesn't rub.
Yes. No, it doesn't. So even though you have weight in the back, it wouldn't rub.
It wouldn't rub. The setup with the tires, how we have it now, it would tuck before it rubs.
Okay.
It have to be under some serious pressure for it to actually touch, and at that the bump stop should kick in and stop it from touching.
I don't even think you put your baby under so much pressure.
That's right.
I could say I've seen those little modifications, and it truly brought out the car from, even though the previous owner had it at a certain standard, it actually brought out the car to, as I said before, to your standard,
Right.
and to your personality, I should say.
Right. True.
That's why I said, you could see the car and see, okay, that's John. And I didn't even know about the single sprung when the sprang. When you put the single sprang in a different color. But as I hear you say, I could remember
Right.
the different variations of the different vehicles that have the
Right.
that have the same configuration with that. So just give us a little insight about maybe what you plan to do for the future.
Alright, so that one is a kind of limbo because the car is kind of like a stance car right now, / show car-ish kind of vibe, but they can never have too much speed. So I would love for the car to be as clean, show car-ish vibes, but we want to put a bit more horsepower into it.
Okay.
We're looking at bigger intercooler, doing some more external cooling systems on it, potentially upgraded turbo, and then just as everybody else who wants to get a little bit more out of it safely, the potential of a med kit might be in there as well.
Okay.
There's a few other stuff in the works that don't really want to say yet. We're going to make
No
sure
problem.
you forge through still, but
No problem.
in terms of engine stuff, we're trying to keep it close to like a OEM plus, so that we won't face a lot of reliability issues with it.
Yeah.
But believe it or not, Subarus are not as bad as people think it is. I mean, if you're beating on it without properly maintaining it, just as everything else, it will
Just
go
as
out.
everything else.
And seeing that Subarus having a turbocharged variant and all-wheel drive standard, when people get it, they beat on it from the get-go. You know, they come from, let's say, a naturally aspirated Corolla or Alteza, and they get a turbocharged vehicle now, and they think they can beat it up the same how with the same little maintenance they put into it. Stigma is there because the engine is different, and it's not as easy to work on inside of the bay because of how crammed it is, etc. And because it's a flat style engine, it's a bit, different to work on.
And I'm glad you say that. I'm glad you say that because that actually brings light to the situation that people always say, Subaru this, Subaru go mash up this, Subaru engine known to break down and thing. And I'm glad you sum it up in that way so that, we could have a general open idea or an open mind to see that, it's not, once you maintain your vehicle go last.
Of course. And I would say, just as every vehicle has every brand has a weak point or a point you have to pay particular attention to. I would say for Subarus, you have to make sure that your cooling system is on point and that your oiling system as well, your lubrication system in the vehicle is on point. Once those two are optimal, then you should have no issues.
No.
You see, if you want longevity out of your motor, you'll have to pay particular attention to some of the vitals. Just as a human being, there's certain vitals you pay key attention to, so you have to do the same thing as with your vehicle. I mean, that's some of the main reasons for some of the gauges we'd install aftermarket gauges. I would always say if it doesn't come with it from the factory, it's not needed. However, if you want to put that extra fail safe where you can feel comfortable knowing you can monitor these vitals on your own, I would always suggest you get gauges where you can have a look at it. And if you're not too well abreast with them or understand the numbers or the figures, YouTube. And as simple as even the little instruction pamphlet you get with it explains it enough for you. So yeah, I would always agree with somebody that takes that kind of particular attention to those small minor details, because in the long run it's
gonna last.
Of course.
As it relates to your car, that's one mod I'm seeing kind of prevalent now in Grenada per se. What's your thoughts on Underglow?
Well, growing up Fast and the Furious, there's a couple other movies around that really brought it to light. I mean, it was more, I would say, a Japanese style thing, they undergo a lot of the underground stuff like called underground or the whole JDM thing, which is actually Japan domestic market. Personally, it's not really my cup of tea.
Okay.
I mean, a little bit, a few lighting here and there is fine for me, but the different colors and the rainbow effect and stuff is not pretty much my cup of tea.
Okay.
I think if it's done the right way, however, then it could be a very tasteful mod. But just getting some LED strips and slapping on the vehicle, and especially when you can see it from the outside.
That's one thing I hate.
Yeah, that's just throw me off a bit. But personally, underglow is not really my thing.
So that's basically it. Now, as I said to you earlier, give a little advice to young car minds. We don't forget all it. Young car minds who aspiring, especially maybe let's say per se narrow it down to Grenadians who aspiring to be, because I know maybe when you're passing, you might see somebody going, "Oh, watch a bad car." I was once like that, and I don't have a machine yet, but I know as you have yours now. So give us a little advice, or give us just a little, some words of encouragement to some of the young car minds, car enthusiasts of this country.
Well, I had a similar experience not too long ago. We actually started a Subaru club not too long ago, and we decided to do an Easter drive. We had quite a couple guys come out, and on the road you would see some of the children there. Oh, that is my car! And there's this one time I was heading down to work. Two children was passing, and I said, "Oh, that car is mine!" And that really took me back to when I was a child as well. You would see cars, and you and your friends would be complaining, "Oh, this one is mine," or the next one coming will be mine. And if it's a dumb, or you call a fake truck, you will laugh at each other because you get a fake truck. And, So, for the young minds or the young persons coming up, I would say take your time. There's no rush to grab a vehicle. I mean, the automotive industry is, I would say, it's keep developing. So what is expensive now would be cheap by the time you're ready. So I would say don't rush it. Don't fight to buy whatever you could, because you would make an investment that you may regret. Buying the cheapest car on the market right now may not be the best investment, because yes, you get it for cheap, but the amount you have to put in to get it working,
Best you just
buy a car actually working. So I would say take your time, do your research. The internet is there. You can get anything you want from the internet. You can get the pros, the cons, and then reach out to people who you see have a particular vehicle or brand that you're interested in and ask their opinions. And don't take it from one person. Take it from a couple of people. Always get different references, because my experience will be different to yours. And then getting a collective information from different people could better give you a guide as to which direction you should go. But I would say vehicles, if you're really into it, it becomes more than a hobby. It's a culture, it's a lifestyle. It's something that you see that you might have a bad day, and just having a look at your car sitting down in it changes everything. It's just like when you're feeling sick, and as you reach home, you're 50% better instantly.
That's true.
That's how your vehicle, once you have it or you get to do what you want to, that's how it becomes. Whenever you park it a bit wrong, you have another glance at it again, and 3-4 times. So it's something just as yourself you have to invest into. You have to sit down and plan stuff, and the most important thing I will keep saying, don't rush it. Just as everything else, you make sure you have a plan, you sit down, you punch your figures and get advice. And this could be anybody, any day. And I mean, you might have something better, and as the trends evolve and things change and things come back, you would see you sooner or later on the road. It might not be as fast as you may want it, or the first one may not be the one that you actually want, but a bill is a bill, and if you're saying the culture, respect all bills, and that is that. So just take your time, and we'll see you on the road pretty soon.
Trust me, I love how you sum that up. I love how everything you said there, it actually it brought back memories, and I even feel inspired too. Trust me,
man. You're never too old to start, you're never too young to start. I mean, I know things here are kind of expensive, but when you look at some of the stories of guys in the diaspora or outside in the international world, in the US, etc. A lot of these guys who have like ridiculously stupid machines now, they would have started at a young age renting on other person's vehicles. You know, you may not have your own, but going to help somebody else with theirs, you know, that gives you the exposure, the knowledge, and the drive to get your own. So then when you get yours, you know what to do from what not to do. And like I keep saying, YouTube a lot of stuff. Like, we have a lot of guys now that gives you guides, you know, what to look for, what not to look for. You know, so I would think the generation to come and those that are coming up, they have it a lot easier in terms of finding something or making stuff done or getting things together compared to the older persons, because it was trial and error. If you work, you work. If you don't work, it might be expensive to work. But, you know, I would say YouTube straight. YouTube everything straight. It's there just waiting for you to access it. And from that, you have a lot of fruitful outcomes from it.
That's true. That's true. And I hope YouTube pays for this advertisement that we're giving them. Well, John, trust me, I truly enjoyed hearing a little bit of your history, a little bit of your life, per se, as it relates to the automotive side of it. And I'm really happy. I'm really happy that we got this time to actually sit down and break down this machine, previous machines, and so on. And trust me, I really did enjoy it.
Likewise.
I really did enjoy it.
I would like to really just, you know, shout out to a couple of persons who helped me along the way.
No problem.
First and foremost, I had to, you know, give a biggest shout out to my late father. He continued to rest in peace. He was a mechanic for us as long as anybody can remember. I really got on at that, and him having us outside, you know, giving some assistance really helped me personally in terms of everything on the mechanical aspect of stuff. I'm still learning when it comes to electronics and so, but the mechanical aspect of stuff, I really there's no proper words I could, you know, give to thank him for all he have done and all the knowledge he have passed on to me, you know. So I have to give that shout out to him. And then to some of my close friends, you know, they have Subarus as well, like Marlon, Osborne, you know, some of the executives on the team, Remy, Shane, Kevly, and a couple of persons. They really helped motivate me and inspire me to go the direction I went to. You know, Tadia, you know, these are persons who have times I come and I don't know what to do again, you know? Or something me just not going the way I plan, and you know, they keep on me, don't give up, man, keep going at it. You want some help, let me see you figure it out. To when we actually getting ready for car show, which we didn't even finish. Me and Ozzy was actually working from 7 p.m. the Friday night and finish about 3 p.m. the Saturday, working straight just to go home and bathe and head straight up to the car show. So these are the kind of people I have around me that actually help me, motivate me, and keep me, you know, pushing to get the car where I want to. I mean, there's quite a bit of stuff that is in the making, exterior-wise as well, that we didn't get the opportunity to do as yet. But hopefully we should have a follow-up video in the near future, not too distant future, with a different look. And you know, that's how it goes, and it will always be. So, shout out to my mom as well for you know, always having refreshments for us when you was in yard the whole night. You know,
something that's the most important thing.
Yeah, man. You work hard, you had to eat. So shout out to mom, but you know, always looking out for us, always checking in on us to make sure everybody good and making sure at least we throat and dry. So
that's good.
Mom, thank you very much, and really appreciate you, and I love you.